On behalf of the ASB whānau, we are absolutely delighted, and I think we kind of gave the game away just then, to award this evening to Peter Beck, so come on up.
Thanks very much. So, firstly, a huge thanks to Kia for recognising this award, and thanks to my wife who's sitting over there. I'm a barely functioning human outside Rocket Lab, so without my wife, none of this would, of course, occur. And also to my mother, who's be able to hear tonight, and my late father. I was very lucky to grow up in an environment where there was no such thing as impossible and no such thing as thinking too big. And I came from Invercargill, and it's obviously a very, very small town. Also, I'd like to pay tribute to the team, because you can have a great vision and a passion, but it really takes a huge team to pull these kinds of things off. These are immense engineering challenges that are usually tackled by governments and governments' worth of resource, not a small team out at the airport in Mangere. So huge thanks to the team. I've been very privileged to travel the world and meet and visit a lot of really substantial organisations, and I'm always amazed that whether it's sitting around a boardroom table or in a meeting room, to find Kiwis. Often you'll hear a Kiwi accent at the back of the table, and New Zealanders find themselves in the most incredible positions. And these positions aren't positions where they're bringing in the tea, they're running the show. So it's always fantastic to see that. And when I walk across organisations with a sea of cubicles, you can just about guarantee that there's one Kiwi flag rising high out of the cubicles every time. So we're everywhere, that's for sure. And New Zealanders think differently. They solve problems in a very different way. And as I was driving here, I was trying to think of a good example. And one I could think of is that we developed a rocket engine which caught the attention of the largest rocket engine manufacturer in the world. And they sent over a whole team of people for a month to do due diligence on it and try and work out exactly how we'd produce this engine. And we got right through to the end of the test program, and there was one test that they would like to do. They would like to see how the engine would perform in a simulated space environment. And one of the hardest things to do there is actually get it chilled down very cold. So we sat there, and they went off in one corner designing a multi-million-dollar cryogenic refrigeration plant. Well, our team huddled in the corner, and I dispatched one guy down to a service station. And cut a long story short, 2 hours later we called the experts from our overseas friends into the engine test cell, and we hot-fired the engine at very low temperatures, and it worked perfectly. And later on we acknowledged that in fact the guy that we dispatched down to the service station filled his entire car up with party ice, and we iced down the engine with party ice, and that's how we were able to achieve and simulate space. And I think that is really typical of Kiwis. They see right through the problems and solve them in very, very innovative ways. The Key Awards are particularly important, I think, as well. Quite often in New Zealand we have this scenario where business leaders grow their companies, they become successful, and they go global and they go offshore. And quite often you'll see the rhetoric is, oh, we lost another one. Which is quite incorrect. We should be celebrating that we didn't lose one, we created another global New Zealand Kiwi. And I think these awards celebrate that in the most incredible way. And kudos to Sir Stephen Tyndall for founding these. And maybe not everybody is aware here, but Stephen is invested in all of the successful startups that have come out of New Zealand, I think, and more importantly, all of the non-successful ones as well, all the unsuccessful ones. So that takes courage for sure. So thank you very much for this award. It's an incredible honour, and I guess the one message I would like to leave and challenge everybody in New Zealand is we all need to think much, much bigger. Thank you very much.